So many streams to get going. All of the streams. All right, I can hear you on
all streams.
oh, but you're muted on Zoom.
Hear you.
Oh, I thought I needed to mute on Zoom.
Just you just want to mute your
Oh,
incoming audio.
yeah, I remember now. Yeah, that's right. I just switched it to the all right, yep. I got it worked out now. So,
You got it?
yep. I hear you on spaces and audio coming in on both.
Okay. I think I'm good. It's kind of hard to tell, to be honest with you. Can you try talking one more time?
INLEO in 3, 2, 1.
All right, we're just gonna have to ask people if they can hear you on the.
Yeah, I don't see usually on
Oh,
spaces you see the little like speaky thingy when people are talking.
yeah.
I don't see it happening for you either though.
I mean, I have. Okay, I think you're good. All right, you're good. It's just because I have so many different, because I'm recording it all, I have so many different sources of audio. So I'm just like, I've got the YouTube recording up, I've got you on Zoom, I've got you on Spaces on my phone. It's just
Hilarious.
crazy. All of I'm waiting for the day when someone figures out just like one place to do all this. Like Restream is good for like YouTube, Facebook, whatnot. But like for the spaces, like I feel like there should be an integration into Restream or something. But X probably doesn't want to do that. All right,
True.
let me this recording going. Get the YouTube embed link. All right. If you're listening right now, the threadcast has just been posted. I will put the link in Discord. If it actually posted. Looks like it did. Okay. All right, I got the link. Posting the link in Discord if you're listening to this. Go find the threadcast.
Search for it.
Search far and wide. YouTube spaces. We have way too many streams. One day we need to figure this out. Or maybe we just need like one thing I've noticed is that a lot of podcasters now, like the bigger ones, this has been around for a while, but they've got like a video person that you don't see, or they don't talk, but they're in the background just doing all the
Yeah,
video.
basically have a
It's
production
not
assistant.
us. Yeah, exactly. Because
Well, there you
otherwise,
go.
we're distracted, but
Calling all Leos
yeah.
who wants to be production assistant.
Yeah, we might need a production assistant here soon with all these different streams. All right. Looks like we're good though. Welcome back to the AMA. Mitch was gone last week. He was shaking hands, kissing babies, making some money. But he's
Yeah,
back.
hopefully all those things.
Right. We are audible via YouTube and X. Awesome. Thank you, time travelers. Looks like
Nice.
we're good. So yeah, it's been an interesting week. I'd say, like, while we let people jump in here, because I just posted the announcements, Bitcoin just touched 50K yesterday. And we haven't talked about the markets obviously in a while since you were gone last week. But what do you think about the market right now? In terms of, crypto, Bitcoin, everything happening with the ETFs, Um, and then we'll jump into some like Leo Hive stuff after.
Well, ironically, I'm just finishing up a post on INLEO about Bitcoin breaking 50K. I was trying to get it done before we jumped on, but I did not. So I will
Nice.
multitask the last few sentences of the post so I can hit publish. Um, yeah, it was a nice surprise. I mean, while everyone was distracted with Super Bowl Sunday, Bitcoin was creeping up on 50K. And then, you know, for us, at least in the US time zone, woke up Monday morning to 50 plus K Bitcoin. So
Yep.
that was exciting. And then, last night I was on a call with a few guys, investors I know that, also dabble in crypto. And, I think last night is when it lost 50K. And now we're floating back around 48.5 as we speak, which isn't the end of the world because like the yearly high was that spike the day after, I believe it was the ETF news, where it looked like we were going to moon. And then all of a sudden we just completely reversed and then pulled back to the bottom of the range. So the good news is we broke that top, so put in a new high for the year and broke out of the top end of that range we've been stuck in since the beginning of December. So I am actually okay with the pullback because the price was pretty stretched against the 10 period moving average, which is what I use as like kind of a short-term overbought, oversold indicator. Um, So I actually was hoping for a pullback before we broke above like 48, 49. But we are getting it technically today, but we're still above um, that. Well, on an intraday basis, it's like right up in there, but in terms of opening closing high, we're still above that level. So I feel like if Bitcoin consolidates here at like 48K, that probably is a good sign, at least in terms of like technical charting that we broke out to a new high and it's set up to push. So should be interesting. But like I said, I think things are a little overbought right now. So I would not um, worry about any consolidation slash profit taking in the next week or two.
Yeah, I mean, we pushed from, I mean, we were basically at like 38 not too long ago. And, you know, just had a kind of like a, buy the rumor, sell the news event for the ETF launch. Um, so I think kind of the fun part of that has been, obviously you saw the whole thing happen with GBTC and people kind of cash out after the ETFs went live. But I was just watching this interview with Pomp on CNBC, and he was talking about all the numbers behind, the ETF launch and how much Bitcoin has actually gotten soaked up by these ETFs, kind of quietly in the background while everyone was focused on the price action being lackluster. So I thought that was super interesting. This has been like the most successful ETF launch, I think, by the numbers in terms of how fast these ETFs have accumulated funds, people investing in them. Um, so I'm definitely, interested to see where we go from here in terms of the ETFs. I do think that it's going to have a really positive impact in the long run in terms of how much Bitcoin gets soaked up. So he was saying something like 5% of the available to trade supply of Bitcoin has been soaked up by these ETFs. So something like 60% of all Bitcoin hasn't moved in the last 6 months. 60% or 80%, I don't remember. So these ETFs have essentially soaked up 5% of whatever's, has been moving in the last 6 months, which is considered that tradable supply. So kind of interesting to watch what happens with the ETFs from here. I think, I do think we're going to see a slow grind upwards in terms of the Bitcoin price. Like, well, a couple things I've seen that are interesting to me also is, people aren't that excited. Like Bitcoin's at 50K, the all-time high, I don't remember the exact number, 60 something thousand. So we're not that far from the all-time high. Like we could have we just saw us run from 38 to 50, in just a few weeks time. The run from here to an all-time high for Bitcoin is not very far away. It could happen literally could happen any week. But people aren't that excited. Like it still kind of feels like a bear market. Altcoins aren't doing that well yet. So I think we're kind of still in the early stages of this bull market, even though Bitcoin is up a lot. Like I think a lot of people just got hurt so bad in the last bear market that even with Bitcoin at 50K, people still aren't feeling, we're not seeing Lambos and people going crazy on X about the Bitcoin price yet. So I still think we've got a lot of euphoria ahead in terms of, people kind of losing their shit. And then obviously you got the halvening coming up. So you're seeing, these ETFs eating up all this supply. And then, right around the corner, you've got the demand shock with the halvening. So I'm pretty excited. I hold a lot of Bitcoin, obviously. And, the price of Bitcoin affects all of us. It affects every crypto project, whether we like it or not. For example, with Leo, like the Bitcoin price obviously has a huge impact on the price of Leo, but we'll keep building whether Bitcoin's 10K or 100K, it doesn't really matter. But it's a lot easier to attract new users and build your user base when crypto is doing well. People are interested in crypto, they want to learn more. I remember in the last bull cycle, people would ask like how to sign up, and they'd be willing to go through the steps to sign up because they really wanted to be in crypto. But then obviously with the bear market, it's like, oh, I have to do 3 steps. I don't want to sign up. So I still think, being that we're, from a financial perspective, I don't think it affects us a ton. Obviously, it affects us as an altcoin. It affects our price and market cap. But from a user and marketing perspective, I think it's really good, obviously for crypto to be doing well. So definitely excited. I saw something too about, other ETFs like, an Ethereum ETF and other altcoins getting their own ETFs might be an interesting trade in the next couple of years, trying to bet which ones would get their own ETF.
We were talking about that last night,
So
and basically the consensus was stack Ethereum the rest of the year because that's pretty much, guaranteed next on the docket and probably is going to happen in 2025.
yeah, I mean, I don't think it's a bad trade to pick up a little
I don't have
Ethereum here.
much Ethereum, but yeah, one of the gentlemen was like, had a decent chunk of Ethereum and still was like, I don't have enough.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a good amount of Ethereum, and then obviously Leo's largest liquidity pool is paired against Ethereum. So if Ethereum does well, then Leo also kind of gets tags along for the ride, um,
Well, I'm
which
all
is
for
obviously
that.
nice. So yeah, I'm a fan of Ethereum. I've had some issues with Ethereum over the years, but I was pretty
As have
early.
I.
I was pretty early into Ethereum, so I still like it, obviously.
Well, out of curiosity, I looked at Ethereum against Bitcoin. I'm like, all right, Ethereum's moved up some, whatever, it's at 2,500. And we were kind of like joking around, all right, what doubles first? Does Bitcoin hit 100K or does Ethereum hit 5K, which is basically, a double for each of them. And I was like, you know what? How's Ethereum doing against Sats? And the funny part is based on the chart, it's a good time to buy Ethereum against Bitcoin because it's been trending down um, for a few months now, and it's still in like a descending channel. So really, it hasn't even broken out. Um,
Yeah.
you'd be speculating, but it's just as far as like not buying when it's like super high. Um, you're at the lower end of the range, so to speak, for Ethereum against Bitcoin. So not that I'm selling any Bitcoin, but a ballsy move would be flipping all your Bitcoin into Ethereum right now, because based on the chart, it looks like potentially you get more bang for your buck out of Ethereum.
Yeah.
But I'm not I'm not doing that ballsy trade. I'll stick with my Bitcoin, but I also am still an Ethereum hater, even though I know it's like, you know, the place still for all things smart
Yeah.
contracts.
Yeah, um I wouldn't sell my Bitcoin for Ethereum, but I would put, fiat or stable coins into Ethereum. I think that's a decent trade. And I'm seeing a couple people like Task saying, is this the Leo AMA or the Bitcoin AMA? You got to chill out, dude. We got to talk about more than just Leo. I mean, it's like I said, Bitcoin affects everything. You know, it affects the onboarding, it affects the price of Leo. So it's a relevant, what's happening in the crypto space is very relevant to us, um,
100%.
in more ways than one.
Because I mean, yeah,
Um,
can Leo go up on its own? Sure, but can it go up if Ethereum and BNB and Bitcoin are going up? A hell of a lot easier then.
yeah, I mean, everything moves in cycles. Like, we went down with the rest of altcoins. Most altcoins still haven't recovered. Leo's recovered. We're almost 2x from the bottom. So obviously we've recovered already, some of what was lost in the last bear market, but not nearly what, we still got a long ways to go up. So in terms of market flow, that's a thing. But what I'm really excited about is all these revenue models that we've built. I'm not ready for like the altcoin run to happen yet. Like I want more time for the Leo supply to get eaten up by premium um Leo ads. I want it to take a little bit longer. I like this price in terms of the market dynamics of what we've built, the cash inflows buying Leo at this price, versus, a full blown altcoin market where Leo might be like $1. Obviously, we can buy a lot more Leo down here and soak it up into the liquidity pools, which I'd like to see. So, um, and speaking of page views, I posted just a little bit ago because I wanted to talk about it, so we can segue into some Leo stuff. But there was a Super Bowl threadcast that Taskmaster created, and during the Super Bowl, I was at a bar for like more than half the game. I saw the good parts, and I was sitting there threading away, and a lot of you guys were also during the game, and it was really cool. Like I tweeted this out on the INLEO account too. This is the first time that there's been a live broadcast of any kind on Hive for the Super Bowl. So very cool. And a lot of us were commenting live and interact with each other. The threadcast didn't go down at all. I did see it get slow a few times, but I mean, we ended up getting, let me pull it up. 1,748 comments on that threadcast and 900 views. So that's 25 Leo that is getting bought back by the Leo ads revenue. So just on that one thread. So really cool to see, that perform really well. I think I really think threadcasts are like a really interesting use case for INLEO. It wasn't really a plan for us to build something like this, but I think it's one of those things where you kind of accidentally go down the right path. And I'm really happy with how, threadcasts have been working lately. We put a lot of work into the back end to make them better, especially since we launched the new LeoNode. So yeah, the Leo formula is page views equals ad revenue equals Leo purchased. That, and then also obviously premium. I think premium is huge. We're at so a little update on premium. And yeah, Taskmaster said it doesn't count the views within the threadcast. So that's just the main threadcast. But then obviously every single individual thread has its own view counter. So yeah, I mean, you're talking probably, well over 1,500 views for that whole threadcast. Assuming that each comment got like at least one view. So it's pretty powerful when you see all this stuff kind of come together. Obviously a bigger user base is gonna make a big difference. But you can see that like in a small space, this model is really working. So all we need to do is scale the model, build something that works and then scale it up. So I'm really happy with the model right now with premium and Leo ads kind of working synergistically. I'm very happy with how this model is going and pushing some more, features and also bug fixes, making the UI work faster and better is obviously important. So, a couple of related things. So with LeoNode, we just integrated HAFSQL, which was actually a really big integration for us. So As far as I know, there's no other project on Hive that's actually using HAFSQL, which kind of blows my mind because it's really powerful. And we've only realized just how powerful it is as we keep kind of adding new features to the UI using HAFSQL. Um, so what it essentially is it's basically a database of Hive's database that we can pull data from almost instantaneously. So like the other day we pulled like 250,000 pieces of data from the blockchain, and it took like 1.5 seconds to pull it. And just to give you some context, like Eric was telling me that when he pulls stuff through Hive SQL, if he were to try to pull like 250,000 pieces of data, it would take over 10 minutes. So we did it in a second and a half using HAFSQL on the LeoNode. So LeoNode is getting really powerful. What we can do, with HAFSQL is the use cases are really stacking up. So the first thing we did was we relaunched polls. So you guys will now see that there's polls v2 on the UI. And we redesigned them. And now they also work off of HAFSQL. So they work a lot smoother, a lot better in general. They're a lot more reliable. I did notice a few like weird bugs, especially with mobile, like voting on polls and stuff. So we are working on a couple things with that because we completely redesigned polls with the new update. And then we're also going to be integrating polls into long form. So you'll be able to put polls into your blog posts. But yeah, I'm very happy with how it works. And like I said, it all works on HAFSQL now. And the dashboard we pushed live last week, right when we did the AMA. We pushed the dashboard live. So the data, and I know that people keep asking, all the data is grayed out, except for the bottom, which is the Leo.voter delegation data. And I think this is going to be news to Mitch because he hasn't, he's been busy the past week. But we released a huge update for delegations to Leo.voter. So with the dashboard release, we've added tiers for high power delegators. So now there's 3 tiers. So tier 1 is just what it used to be. If you don't do anything, you'll still be in tier 1. Where if you delegate to Leo.voter, you earn about 13% APR paid out daily as liquid Leo. If you you can upgrade basically to tier 2, and you'll earn 20% APR for your Hive Power delegation. And to get to tier 2, you just have to go to the dashboard, and then there's a button that says switch to staked, and you just click that, and then it'll open a little transaction, and then you confirm it. And then what happens is you get 20% APR for your delegation, but instead of getting liquid Leo paid daily, you get staked Leo paid daily. So you get Leo power. And then the third tier is 22% APR, which is the same as tier 2. So you choose staked, but then if you're also a premium user, then you get 22% APR. There's a couple stipulations to the 22%. I saw Luis just posted a screenshot. You got to scroll to the bottom of the dashboard to
Yes, you
see
do.
it.
I just found it. In fact, I'm not
Yep.
even gonna lie, this is the first time I've been on the dashboard page ever.
I mean, we released it
I
last
never
week.
hit the 3 dots to see the
No,
other
I mean we
things.
released it last week, so it's
No,
not like it's been there and you missed it.
I saw a post about it. I'm just saying, yeah, no doubt.
Yeah. So if you scroll to the bottom, you'll see all the data about that. And what I really like about it too is that it estimates all of your daily, monthly payouts and whatnot. Um, so like you can see I've got this account, I've got 100 high power delegated. So it makes 2 cents a day or 59 cents a month at 22% APR. So obviously not much, but that's 100 high power delegation. So I think I saw if you have a
So
20,000, you get like $150 a month.
so basically the initial bump up, all you're doing is just saying, I want to receive staked Leo instead of liquid Leo in my payout. And then that gets you like, you're not changing the amount of hive power you have.
Nope.
Okay.
Yeah, nothing changes except that you get Leo power instead of liquid Leo paid
I
daily.
don't, yeah. Well,
So if
shit.
and Addicted
I
came
already
up with a
missed,
good
I missed out
term.
on a week of extra earnings already.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean you can switch to staked and then you're good. Addicted came up with a good term though, and there's one big stipulation with how the delegation tier works. So if you do upgrade to either tier 2 or tier 3, Um, it's similar to the way that Leo Power Update works. If you've powered down Leo at any point in the last 3 months, then you are not eligible for tier 2 and tier 3. So it'll actually bump you back down to tier 1 APR if you're powering down. So Addicted coined HODL mode essentially for the delegation tiers. So if you're tier 2 and tier 3, your account basically has to be in like HODL mode, where like if you're powering down and selling Leo, you're not going to be able to get the tier 2, tier 3 APR. So it's kind of interesting. It essentially what we're doing, and like I said, tier 1 is still the same as before. So if you were a delegator before and you don't care about staking Leo and whatnot, then you can just stick with tier 1 and get the same that you were getting prior to this update. But if you do upgrade to tier 2 and tier 3, the idea is we're giving out bigger rewards to people who are actually stacking Leo. And if you can earn those rewards for 6 months and then decide you want to power down, and then you can power down, and then obviously it'll bump back to tier 1 from that point forward. Um, so it's just a way to essentially encourage more people to delegate. The idea is we want to encourage more people to delegate Hive Power, because we're using that Hive Power to incentivize people who are premium creators on INLEO. So people who are making high quality content. So that that's the idea there. Like, we want more delegators, but we also want to make sure that if we're paying more, that you're also signaling that you're a hodler essentially. Otherwise, we'll just say earn the 13% and you can sell it every day. But if you're a hodler, you can earn up to 22%. So those were
Well,
like the major updates with the tiers, and obviously the dashboard to manage it. And then the rest of the dashboard data will get integrated when HAFSQL is when we integrate HAFSQL into the dashboard. So I'm still kind of pushing the devs to get that done this week, and push the whole dashboard live. So we'll see if we can get there. And then you guys see that there's an advanced view. So if you click the advanced view, it says you need to go premium. Even if you are premium, it'll still say that right now. So the advanced view will come later, maybe in like a week or two. We'll push the advanced view, and the idea with that is you'll have deeper analytics for your account, more like personalized analytics that only premium users can access.
well, I just made the switch because why not? I've had my delegation sitting there for eons.
Yeah.
Might as well
So now
earn
you'll just earn
more.
more.
It's not like I need liquid Leo for anything. So
Yeah. This is
just
for stackers, and and I keep coming back to this huge thing about incentive loops. So we've like really closed the loop with premium. Like, the addition of premium, I think, is really understated so far, but it closes the incentive loop of INLEO. So like, if you think about it, like, you can delegate Hive Power and earn liquid Leo and sell that Leo every day, and you obviously don't care about the Leo ecosystem. But you could delegate Hive Power and earn 22% APR, almost double the APR, and earn a bunch of staked Leo. And by delegating, you are obviously earning a huge APR that is higher than anywhere else on Hive. Like, there's nowhere else where you're going to earn that kind of APR on your Hive Power long term. You're also, by delegating to Leo.voter, encouraging more people to go premium, because now we have more Hive Power that we can use to incentivize people who are premium. So it loops it, it's a nice flywheel where we get more delegators, we use that Hive Power to get more premiums. Premiums obviously pushes up the price of Leo, since it's buying Leo every couple of days. Basically, when that account reaches 500 HBD, it uses the premium money to buy Leo. So you're delegating Hive Power, earning Leo staked into your account. That Leo is becoming more valuable because your Hive Power is being used to incentivize premium users. And when people go premium, they're paying 10 HBD a month, and that buys Leo. Then they're also incentivized to use the UI more, because they want to earn more and make the most of their premium. And by using the UI more, they create more page views, more content, and then that generates more Leo ads revenue, which obviously then buys Leo and generates even more incentive for Leo Power holders. So it's a nice feedback loop that we've created. I'm very happy with how it all works. And I think premium like really clicked in my brain. It changed a lot of things for the platform. We really needed one thing that Leo lacked, I think, was having a product that actually brought in like revenue every month. Obviously we had ads, but this is like much, premium has already outpaced the ad revenue. So we're making more from premium now than ads. And we're going to keep pushing that. So I was saying that there's an update for premium. So um, we're now at 280 premium users, which is really awesome. That's insane growth because when we started out, the I think it was about a month ago, I told the team, I basically had a meeting with everybody in the team, and I said, for the next 2 months until March 31st, which is the end of quarter one, I want all of us to be focused on getting more premium users, and the goal is get to 1,000 premium subscribers by March 31st, end of quarter one, 2024. So, we're at February 13th now. So we've got, essentially, a month and a half left to get, so 6 weeks to get to 1,000 premium subscribers. When I pulled everyone aside and told them about that, we were at about 80. So now we're at 280. So we put on another 200 premium users. My goal is by the middle of this month to jump in another 100 or so. So obviously we're already kind of at the middle of the month. So we're going to be making a big push in the next like day or two to get more premiums onboarded. And this whole Leo.voter thing, all of this, like the tier thing, that literally came to life in the matter of like 48 hours. It was like, Eric and I sat down and we were like, okay, well, if we want to get to 1,000 premium subscribers, we're going to need a lot more Hive power. If we want to make sure that it's like, I keep saying premium that pays for itself. So, part of that was we need to get more Hive power delegated to Leo.voter. And we were kind of brainstorming ways to do that. And then, the tier system kind of came out and we developed it. And then like literally it was like an overnight type of thing. We just did it. So, the tier thing is intended to grow the Hive power in Leo.voter, and that Hive power is intended to help us get to 1,000 premiums. So like a new goal has kind of emerged. We want to get Leo.voter delegations. It's at 2.3 million right now. We want to get it to 5 million, before the end of this month, which I think we can do. Obviously, we're going to need to campaign and promote it and teach people how to use the dashboard to upgrade their APR. But I think being that this is the highest APR you can earn on Hive power, I don't think it's going to be too hard to get to 5 million Hive power delegated. So we're going to get to 5 million Hive power and then, keep pushing for that 1,000 subscriber mark. So at 1,000 subscribers, there's a couple of reasons why I picked this. Obviously, a nice round number, but at 1,000 subscribers, that would be $10,000 a month in revenue for Leo Premium. And if you guys know how it works, half of that, which is $5,000, buys Hive, and the other half, $5,000, buys Leo, and then it pools it permanently as permanent liquidity. So it's pretty incredible to think about what happens when you've got that much Leo. With the market cap of Leo, $5,000 a month is insane in terms of buying pressure. The float of Leo is very tiny. I forgot the number. It's like 70 something percent of Leo is staked. So the float of Leo is very tiny. So $5,000 a month buying Leo and essentially taking it off the market by putting it as a permanent liquidity position, it is huge. The impact of that is massive. And then you keep having that happen for months and months and months on end. It's going to be incredible to watch, kind of what happens. But obviously we need to make a huge push, as a team, we're all aligned in doing this, and we're releasing things like the dashboard, the advanced view of the dashboard. Like we're launching all these new features for premium to make it even more worthwhile to be premium. And then we're also making sure that, premium pays for itself. So if you are premium and you make like a couple blog posts a month, you should earn, that's kind of our goal with Leo.voter, is you earn more than what your premium costs so that you can just keep renewing and keep renewing. So yeah, Mint Flinch said the flywheel's in motion. Can't wait to see the ripple effect. Yeah, I mean, that's really the goal here, is like kick this flywheel into high gear, especially with with the bull market kind of emerging, which is what we were talking about before. And I saw Luis88 said, is it possible to gift premium? Yeah, so if you go to the premium page, you can click gift premium, and then you can enter any Hive username and then gift it to them. Yeah, and Taskmaster posted a screenshot of the page views today. If you look at page views over the last 30 days, you can see that there's actually been a nice spike. So page views are increasing. The user base is increasing. Um, Eric had some good data on the monthly active users in terms of long form content creators has been increasing, especially since our update where to earn Leo now, you have to post from the UI. So you can't just use hashtags anymore to earn Leo, you actually have to use the UI. But yeah, hey, I'll send a screenshot of the last 30 days. Um, but page views have been trending up.
That's the direction we want to see.
Yep.
Up into
So
the
it's like I said,
right.
you know, the broader market, oh, there you Taskmaster beat you to it. The broader market obviously has an impact on the Leo price, but building these things, these mechanisms to buy more Leo and absorb it is really important. So we keep pushing the boundaries on that. But we need your help. I mean, there's 8,000 active content creators on Hive. And there's about 1,600 monthly active users on Leo. So, there's still a big chunk of Hive that hasn't used Leo and doesn't use Leo on a regular basis. So to get to 1,000 premiums, like, that's very doable. We just need to see more, we need to see more people understand the benefit of being premium in terms of the extra features and then also in terms of the extra curation. I'd say if you look at, and this is one thing I did look at, if you look at the number one like biggest piece of feedback across Hive in terms of creators is like getting noticed, getting more curation, getting more upvotes. And we've just created a way for that to we just created like the conversation ender. It's like if you're creating good content and you're premium, you're gonna get rewarded. Like we have a whole, and I've shared some teaser screenshots, but we've got a whole like backend spreadsheet dashboard where we're pulling data from SQL and watching every single premium user and making sure that they're earning good rewards. And if they're not earning good rewards, then we look at why. Like, are they not getting curated enough? Are they not posting enough blog posts? And then what we're going to start doing is dropping comments on those premium users and say, it looks like you're falling behind on earning enough to renew for next month. You should make like 2 more blog posts before the month is over so that we can curate them and then you can afford the next month of premium. So it's like, we just kind of created a conversation ender for getting noticed on Hive, which is use your Hive account to log into INLEO, and then make good content because obviously we're not going to curate you if it's bad content, and then go premium, and now you get noticed all over the UI. You can make threads and you'll get noticed. You can make blog posts and you'll get noticed.
So what you're saying is I can't shit post.
You can't shit post.
Uh,
I mean, you can shit post, it just won't get curated. So.
I might as well just pack it in now. I don't think I've written anything that's not a shit post in 7 years on Hive and Leo.
Yeah, well, that's the cool thing is that the sorry, my mic just switched.
Technical difficulties.
Technical
Yes.
difficulties.
So I kid. I put a good post out there from time to time.
All right, I think I'm back. I love when I get a phone call on all these different streams and then everything just like switches my mic over.
That's
It's perfect.
hilarious,
Yeah. I gotta start going do not disturb for these.
right? Noon Eastern, do not disturb.
Yeah,
Test, what did Test say?
RCM, good
Getting noticed
content
on
plus a premium subscription equals reward showers. That is exactly how it works.
reward shower. Oh my God, someone needs to make a meme out of reward showers.
Yeah.
Hashtag meme time. Please meme up reward showers, people. I will vote on it, assuming I see it.
Yeah, Taskmaster said getting noticed on Leo is easy. You just make threads, just be everywhere. Yeah, I mean it's like, people want to get noticed, but they don't want to put in the work. So we've created, threads, obviously a great way to get noticed, and then premium, a kind of like cheat code, if you will, to get noticed even more. So, if you go premium and then you just make some threads and blog posts, like you get noticed pretty easily. Um, we've made a nice little cheat code with that.
Yep, Cat is still too old school and doing long form. Very few threads.
I mean, doing
Still,
long form is good too. You know,
still
do
regularly
both.
long. I mean, I don't long form every day like I used to, but I'm still long forming like every other day on average, I'd say. I throw in a thread here and there. I threaded yesterday or Sunday. A lot of times when I do a long form, I'll also do a thread since I'm already on the site.
Yeah.
I'm just scrolling through the thread cast because we didn't really touch on any questions. And what do we got? We got about 10 minutes, so figure if I can find anything. I did see something earlier. Tess said something about what was the Leo Premium idea you had in the shower the other day? Care to share? So clearly I missed some conversation elsewhere.
Yeah, I mean, I posted a thread um that I had an idea when I was taking a shower about Leo Premium, a new feature for premium users. I'm not ready to share it yet, but we are working on it, and I think it's going to be I think it's going to be like it's like a little masterpiece. I'm really excited about it. But it's a new feature for premium users, and it's related to Leo AI. So I will give you those teasers.
I already have a guess, but that's cool. I mean, in terms of the trend of features keep getting added to premium, so it's just incentive for people to continue their premium, and then also just for other people to FOMO because it's like, oh shit, this thing keeps getting better.
That's the idea. More features, more rewards, better life.
Indeed.
Good questions.
I got all sorts of comments, chats and comments and whatnot. You know, 190 comments. Any plans to integrate a Leo thread into Splinterlands tournament? So, oh, that's interesting. Any plans to integrate a Leo thread into a Splinterlands tournament so participants can talk to each other in a tournament? I mean,
That'd be cool.
it would. I mean, obviously, you can just have a separate thread cast, like,
Yeah, I mean,
but
I think what would be cool is if someone were to like moderate, like you know how you have like moderators
yeah,
speaking like about what's going on and stuff like that. If you had them do a live stream with the threadcast, that'd be cool. I'd love to see that. Yes. Sunseeker said premium should be worth it even without the rewards. Yeah, because of all the features. Exactly. I mean, that's the idea. Is like just the features alone make it worth it. But then the extra rewards is a nice bonus. So yeah, that's the idea. Is I want premium to pay for itself in terms of like actual, financial value. But then I also obviously want the features to be like just super, undeniably beneficial if you use the UI that, being premium is like a no-brainer. Drax.leo said, speaking of Leo AI, will threads feed it? For example, will playlist related national anthems help Leo AI when it starts answering questions about them? Yeah, so actually the first integration, it's already Leo AI is already integrated with threads completely. So, the next stage is just kind of further developing it and then obviously adding long form, but it's already trained on all the threads in real time too. So, I use it pretty regularly. I can ask it like, you know, what were the top three things that were said during the threadcast for the Super Bowl? And it will look through those threads and it will tell me the top three things. So it's pretty smart already. But obviously, I mean, I think there's a lot of work that needs to be done. This is not something that's going to get built overnight, but it's already functional. It works. I use it on a semi-daily basis, obviously, mostly for training and whatnot. But um, Yeah.
Mm. Mod Manga posted a GIF for reward showers. It's funny.
Cam Fizz, I think you're using, some markdown code that is not really standard. I mean, you can keep using it. Obviously, we'll try to integrate it later, but our markdown editor, I think, does most things that are needed. So if you want to do those extra things, it's probably not going to be anytime soon. Um, and I actually do want to share the idea in a little bit of a form because I also want to save this for posterity. But the idea I had for premiums is related to integrating long form posts into threads. So I've actually been thinking a lot lately about how we can do that because I want posts to get more views. I want them to get viewed more. And right now, a lot of people talk about how it's like hidden on the UI. I mean, it's not really hidden. Like you just click the articles tab and it's right there. But in terms of like just scrolling the home feed, like obviously you're not getting fed any posts, it's all threads. I've had a few different ideas for how to integrate posts into the threads feed in a way that doesn't like ruin the threads experience. Because like the idea is, you scroll on threads and you're interested in short form content and that's what you're getting. So in short, in broad strokes, because I don't want to share all of it, the idea is using Leo AI to read if you're a premium user and you post a blog post. Essentially, Leo AI will be scanning for those posts from premium users, and it will create a short summary of your blog post, like very short, like a one sentence thread, and then it will put it on the threads feed with the link to your blog post so that like people can read it and it says show more and then it goes to the blog post. So it's almost like an auto promotion tool for people who are premium. So it will, yeah, Ahmad Manga. It essentially is Leo AI recommendations within the thread feed, and it will try to be intelligent about where it's publishing them and who it's showing it to. So it's almost like targeted. It's almost like, and this is why I think it's like one of like my big ideas for premium that makes premium more valuable. It's almost like imagine if you had like a marketing assistant, and you're a creator on Hive. Imagine that every premium user on INLEO suddenly gets a marketing assistant hired for them. And every time they make a blog post, that marketing assistant, reads, absorbs that blog post, and then it can look at the UI and see, when people are scrolling the threads feed, if Taskmaster tends to like frequently visit your blog posts, it will feed him personally a recommendation to go see your latest blog post with a really short description, like a one sentence description of what your blog post is about, to try to incentivize him or kind of promote to him to click on your blog post and go to it. So just imagine like essentially targeted marketing for every premium user on INLEO. So it's pretty cool. Tasha said just ask, will there be a recommendation for threads like there is on blog posts? Yeah, and we're working on the blog post recommendation engine right now because I don't really like the way it works. It's more just kind of like a testing grounds for us, but the recommendations aren't great. I think we can do better. But then once we kind of iron that out, we're going to add it like similar to how X has it, where if you scroll, this is like a new thing that X just added, but if you scroll below a thread or below a tweet on X, it will recommend you other tweets that are related, and the recommendations are actually pretty good. So I want to improve our recommendation engine and then have that. So if you're on a thread and you scroll to the bottom, it'll recommend you other threads that are actually related to what you're reading about in the main thread. Mule Farm said Leo AI sounds like a wingman that went to private school. Yeah, I mean Leo AI it's already pretty powerful, but it needs, it's going to get trained and get better. And then once you guys start using it, it actually gets trained on the questions you ask it. So yeah, Taskmaster, it will be a gold mine for music on Leo. Like and it will use Leo AI to do the recommendations. So like if you're listening to, you know, a Beyonce playlist, when you or beyond, let's just say you're listening to a Beyonce song, when you scroll on that thread to the bottom, it'll recommend you other songs from Beyonce because it knows that you're on a thread that's about Beyonce. So it'll consider that you're looking at a thread that's got hashtag music on Leo and hashtag Beyonce or just Beyonce anywhere in the keyword. And then when you scroll, it'll be like, okay, Beyonce plus music on Leo, and then it'll show you all those other threads. So it will be pretty powerful.
Maybe that'll finally be the catalyst to get me to interact with AI because I so far have been slacking on getting involved at all. I think I've one time used ChatGPT. Outside of that, I have not even explored AI, which I know is dumb because it is a super useful tool that everybody is starting to use, especially in business related ventures.
I think you would find it really beneficial for making more content on Hive because it would speed up your process of like, because you know, you're pretty time constrained. So with all the other stuff you're doing, but you could like I mean I'm just spitballing a random use case. Like you could walk through one of your projects, take some pictures, and write a couple bullet points about like what's going on, and then you could feed the pictures and the bullet points to ChatGPT, and you can say, "Help me write a blog post about my project," and then it'll spit you out a blog post, and then you can like edit it a little bit, you know, make it your own, add some takes in there because it's not going to get everything right. And then you in a couple of minutes you could have a blog post written, you know, about your project.
Sweet.
So I think it's powerful. Like for all the AMA clips, I have the videographer just write bullet points of the, you know, of what's being said in the clips. And then I just take the bullet points and give it to Chat GPT, and then it writes like a 2 paragraph description out of the bullet points. So um, you know, we don't even have to write our own YouTube descriptions. And it does it in a way that like YouTube likes the description, the keywords and everything. Um, so I want to get this quick question in, and I know we both got to jump right now. So last question. Sorry for the short AMA today, but we both gotta run. Um, a lot of people are asking about Hive SQL, and I even put it in the title because it's a huge deal right now. So Hive SQL is run by Archange on Hive. Um, he's got a DHF proposal for running it, and he's been running it for a long time. Obviously, he's the creator of it. And he got hacked, like personally hacked, or his servers got hacked or whatever. And that was a few days ago, and it's been down ever since. Hive SQL. Hive SQL is used by a lot of different parts of Hive. So if you notice, like if you're using like peekd, ecency, you know, Hive stats, INLEO, other UIs, you'll notice that there's like certain random features that no longer work correctly. Or one thing is we had like a 2 day outage of Leo.voter payouts because that's using Hive SQL. So it's kind of an interesting time because it coincides with us just last week adding HAFSQL to the LeoNode. HAFSQL does pretty much the same thing as Hive SQL. I actually think it does it faster and better than Hive SQL. So we've already integrated, like the dashboard is using HAFSQL. Polls used to use Hive SQL, but now they use HAFSQL. So like, good example, polls would be down right now, and they wouldn't even work because Hive SQL is down. Yeah, Luis just said peak trending is outdated. Yeah, there's a lot of these aspects of Hive that all run off of Hive SQL, and it's pretty bad that it's just one instance where there's not really a good alternative out there. So we're building HAFSQL into the LeoNode. Obviously, it's already there, and we're kind of integrating it into different parts. So polls already have it. The dashboard has it for the Leo.voter stuff. Right now, one of the devs is working on integrating it for the Leo.voter payouts. So the actual backend will use HAFSQL. Um, what else? And then, so the rest of the dashboard will also use it. There's a couple other parts of the UI that we want to do it. There's actually a big thing that I haven't talked about publicly, but thread containers, you guys know that every 1,000 comments in a thread container, a new container is created. With HAFSQL, we don't actually have to do that. We can do up to 100,000 comments per container. So right now we're limited to 1,000. So we're talking about literally 100x increase in the scalability of threads by using HAFSQL instead of what we're using now. So that's another big piece. And with everything happening with Hive SQL right now, our plan is to this is a rough plan, so some of the details might change. But we're going to take LeoNode and we're going to clone it and create a second LeoNode. Um, and I think we're going to open source the second node and allow any UI, any user to tap into the second node. It'll be open APIs for everybody. Yeah, Luis, HAFSQL is really nice. I mean, it's the fact that nobody's really using it is kind of blowing my mind because the more we dive into it, the more we realize that you can do crazy things with it. So, we're going to kind of refine everything on the main Leo node, clone the node so that there's a second version of it that's open for anybody to use. And then I think we're going to put up, possibly, we'll see. I think we're going to put up a DHF proposal for the second node. And it will kind of be like a cheaper, infrastructure node than what is currently out there in terms of the DHF. So it won't cost Hive very much. And we essentially just want to like recoup the cost of maintaining and whatnot of that node. So it's a couple $100 a month for, per node. And then obviously we do all the maintenance and everything. But since it's just going to be a clone of the main Leo node, we're going to be doing that work anyways on the main Leo node. And then it'll all just get forked into the second node. But our goal with that is that right now, a lot of things are reliant on things like Hive SQL, which is, there's only one instance of it. So if it goes down for any reason, there's no real alternative. Like a lot of people right now, a lot of UIs and devs, we're all just kind of sitting here waiting for Hive SQL to come back online. And I don't think that's good for the decentralization of Hive. So, making our node openly accessible, and then also adding HAFSQL. So basically creating a whole other SQL instance for people to access. And then there's some other interesting infrastructure that we can put into that node that people can tap into. So other UIs, for example, can start to have things like decentralized polls hosted by Leo. So the LeoNode 2 or whatever we decide to call it. People can be able to tap into that and have polls and other forms of data fed into their UIs and projects. So I think that's going to be something that we kind of push forward and do. Also because there's a lot of reasons, but we want to launch a DHF for that, and then we also want to get Leo to the top 20 witness spot. So I feel like we already do a lot for the Hive blockchain, especially relative to the other top 20 witnesses. But this will just be like another notch in our belt that we're running an open API for a Hive node that has HAFSQL and other features that other nodes don't have. So
Yes.
just another
Let's
reason to put Leo in the top 20.
get it. Top 20. Let's go. Cool.
Luis 88. I know that Peak D's been working on, I think they've been working on polls for like 8 months or something now. And we built them. I told them when I saw them in Vegas that we already built polls and they could try to integrate them. But I think other teams are trying to make their own polls. I know Ecency is trying to make their own. So we built polls. Actually, I looked it up the other day, 11 months ago. So we launched polls on like March 8th, 2023. So it's been almost 12 months since we launched polls. And Polls V2 just went live last week, and it's a lot better than Polls V1. So other Hive UIs are welcome to integrate polls, but I think they all, for some reason, want to build their own version.
All the things.
All of the things. But yeah, I think we're 8 minutes over the hour. So Mitch, you got to jump.
Well, that was a good update
Quick
to
pod.
end the call.
Yep. 100%. Yeah, and if you guys have any more questions or feedback or anything, use that hashtag feedback thread. I'll be scrolling through that. I always am. So hop in there. I know this was a quick AMA, but we'll get some more updates pushed out on the main account too. So don't worry. And Salome, yes, polls work now. We just released polls V2. We'll put up a blog post about it soon, either today or tomorrow, talking about it because we just released it. But yeah, they are back. Sweet. Well,
No
have a good
doubt.
week. We'll see y'all next Tuesday on the 20th.
See you on the next one.
See ya.